You're tuned in to Pop Pulse by Dasirandungu, where pop culture meets the tea kettle. From celebrity chaos to show-stopping recaps, I've got your daily dose of drama, delivered unfiltered. Let's dive in! Kayla Malec has spoken out after the whole debacle between James Charles and her ex-boyfriend, Evan Johnson. In her 3-part TikTok series, she explains that James is the weirdo that we all knew he was. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down what she had to say. If you guys were following this story, then you would know that Kayla Malec exposed her ex-boyfriend, Evan Johnson, in a 2-part series on her YouTube called He Doesn't Love You Back in April, detailing how horribly Evan treated her during their relationship, how he physically abused her, and more. Evan was arrested in Tennessee, and on May 7th, he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. You may wonder how this involves James Charles. Well, after Kayla posted her 2-part series where she was exposing everything Evan did to her in their relationship, one of Evan's former best friends, Zach Sellers, came online to tell us that he was no longer friends with Evan after seeing Kayla's video. He shared insider knowledge about Evan and told us about a situation that he thought was strange. He was talking about how James Charles was allegedly friends with Kayla in order to steal Evan Johnson from her, and accused James of trying to help Evan by letting him stay in his home and giving advice on the situation, which is extremely messed up. During all this, James was silent and wasn't speaking on the accusations. For weeks, people were wondering about what was going on and what was James's role in all this. People were also wondering if he was going after her ex-boyfriend, if they were friends. Was he ignoring the best friend code of not going after each other's exes and whatnot? People were very confused. He looked bad since Zach was telling everyone that Evan was straight, and people started looking into James's past controversies, and there was a lot of speculation going around. It's ironic that the person who was calling out James is now getting called out himself since Zach was exposed for being a PDF file, and now he's gone silent online. As for James, the exact day Kayla won in court, he posted a video addressing all the claims made about him. He said that he and Kayla were never friends, and that he and Evan were never romantic. He was simply trying to help out a friend who was in a dark place. He claimed to have cut Evan off after finding out what really happened between him and Kayla. He also kicked Evan out of his house since he flew him out to LA, and he was weirded out by Evan's behavior and things were not adding up. At one point, he had to lie to Kayla after she asked him if Evan was staying with him. He also said that he was going to sue Zach Sellers, and now, Kayla has come out to address James's part in the story. She talks about how upsetting that this is even a part of the story, which she is right. This James situation should not be such an important factor in this mess. She also says that James didn't let her enjoy her court win before he posted his response. He literally posted an hour after her court win, which is messed up. She says that she gets that he wants to get it over with and address all this speculation, but that it was upsetting that she posted about her win, and the comments were all talking about James and making it all about him. In these TikToks that she posted, she addresses how James and Evan even met and explains that before they even met, she was posting Evan on her stories, and James would reply saying, "He's literally so hot. Girl, good for you." And he then texted again, basically saying the same thing. God, he's so beautiful. She also said that her and James were more acquaintances than friends, and she only really heard from him when he was talking about her boyfriend and how hot he is. Now she says that at some point last year, they had been invited to a birthday party and James was there. She introduced Evan to James and they went to talk to each other. Evan later told Kayla that James kept telling how hot he was the whole time they were talking. Then in January, she says that Evan shows their friend group that they were with, and that he had messaging James on Instagram. She showed us a video of a reply that James sent to Evan after Evan said that he should go to Hawaii with us, and James sent a selfie with a caption saying, "Why should I come?" Now, after Kayla and Evan break up that same month, James asks if she and Evan want to be in a Valentine's Day campaign for his painted brand. She tells him that she and Evan broke up, and she shows us the same messages that James showed us in his video, where she texts him that they just broke up last night, and she was going to do a 30-part Who the F Did I Marry series on him, and he replies saying, "What?" And she replies that he's crazy. And then James asks what happened, and he says, "Can I have him now?" She replies saying, "Imagine, like the worst things a human can do to you. It would take hours to text it, but you'll see the series soon cause what the F. But thank you so much. Congrats on the painted love." She reveals that she and Evan weren't no contact yet and that they later talked. He mentioned the whole 30-part series thing and was wondering how in the world he knew that, because the only person she told the 30-part series to was James. Apparently, James screenshotted their messages and sent them to Evan as a warning, basically saying, "Kayla is going to this series on you."
Apparently, from what I was told, is that right after sending those text messages telling James that we broke up, James went and DM'd him on Instagram, sent him those text messages to warn him, and then they started to create a friendship.
She then talks about when Evan went to visit James. She asked James if Evan was with him, and he lied to her, and she was saying that if he wasn't doing anything wrong, then why was he lying? If he was actually just trying to help a friend, then why would he lie to her about it?
And about a month after all of this, I still have not spoken out publicly. The only thing I've done is go on live and say that I was in a relationship. I was not ready to talk about the details of it. Still healing, okay? But I'm scrolling on Snapchat and I see that Evan had posted a Snapchat in the exact area that James lives, in a backyard that looked identical to James's backyard. And immediately I was like, there's no way. Because this was about a month after I had been told that they were DMing. Why are y'all DMing for a month? So I text James, me telling him that we broke up, okay? I text him on March 1st saying, "This is so random, hope you're doing good. Are you with Evan?" He says, "What? Your ex Evan?" Doesn't say yes, doesn't say no. I said, "Yes," posted a picture, looked like your backyard. He goes, "Why would Evan be in my backyard?" Later to find out that he was in his backyard and that James had flown him out to California. Knew you weren't doing anything wrong. Why didn't you just straight up answer my question and say, "Yeah, he's here, we're friends"? Like, you know? And in James's video, he was saying that, oh, well, he seemed depressed and sad and like he needed a friend. I have a lot to say about that, but first thing, if you're just being there for a friend and that you think he's a good person, why do you feel the need to have to lie to me about it?
What makes it worse is that when Kayla put her video talking about Evan, James didn't reach out and support her. It was only when he was exposed for being with Evan that he spoke out and was all apologetic. Like, she has even texting him all throughout this mess, and he still didn't mention his friendship with him. All their conversations were strictly business.
So then it is Coachella weekend, a couple weeks later, and a video is posted exposing James to have flown my ex-boyfriend out to California. The second that this video goes public, James starts to blow up my phone, asking if I'm at Coachella, saying that we need to talk. I immediately already knew what he was talking about. "Are you at Coachella?" "Yeah, I am." "Can I talk to you?" I shut it down. "I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you." He says, "I felt guilty for weeks and I didn't know how to tell you and I owe the truth. I explained it to you from my mouth, not the Zach guy, and then you can feel however you want to." To me, it's quite ironic that you suddenly feel guilty about this the second that it's made public. You know what I mean? Like, you suddenly feel guilty once, like, what do you mean? Then says, "He manipulated me as well and I fell for it." To when I then reply, I got so pissed off. "How did you get to the point for him to manipulate you? I told you he me the day we broke up, then you texted him that day that I told you that, but I'd rather talk to you about this tomorrow. You met him because he was my boyfriend."
It was only when he was exposed that he was talking to her like a friend would. Roll the clip. She felt that James wouldn't have said a word if he wasn't exposed. But she believes that he does feel bad, but only because she found out.
I think that if I did not find out through TikTok, and if this is not made public, I do not think I would have ever found out. I don't think I ever would have received a "I felt guilty for weeks" text. I don't think I would have gotten that at all. I do not think I would have gotten an apology, or he would have owned up to it and texted me about it if it had not been made public. And I think there's proof to that because he kept it a secret literally up until he went public with it.
If you remember in James's video, he said that he was strictly friends with Evan, but it was odd to a lot of people that James kept saying that Evan was hot, and even joking with Kayla, saying things like, "Can I have him now?" James was making it very obvious that he was into Evan. He certainly wasn't shy about his thoughts and feelings about Evan. He even went as far as to invite him to his place.
So I do think it is fishy to create such a friendship with somebody off of being attracted to them. Because I don't know what the fuck they would have in common besides the fact that James thought he was hot. And then to fly him out, I don't know. I don't know if I could think a guy was really hot, fly him out, and just like want a friendship.
This whole thing is messy and weird. James was definitely plotting because how do you constantly mention someone's looks, openly flirt with them, send him screenshots of their messages trying to warn him about the 30-part series, and then fly them out to your place of residence under the guise of being friends? That's weirdo behavior in my opinion. It's giving James was definitely plotting the whole time. But this isn't new for James, that's for sure. Thanks for sipping the tea with me on Pop Pulse by Dasirandungu, where the drama never sleeps, and neither do we. Don't forget to like, comment, and spill your thoughts below. Until next time, stay messy, but make it cute.